I don't even care if you're a black, white, purple, pink, green, orange, no business. If I don't come to you and say yo, don't come to me and say yo. I'm an educated woman and I can handle regular conversation. Why he felt like he needed to dumb it down and talk street to me, I don't know.
He's one in a million. Having from birth a natural suntan. Smooth like.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. See, I got my traditional wear on. And in honor of it being the end of Black History Month, although I think Black history is all history, so it should be all the time, because today is the end of February, I figured I'd tell a story about the time I got my racist manager fired. So when I was still in university, about 6 years ago, I used to work at Blue Notes. I was a team lead there. I was like a team lead, a full-time team lead. Our store didn't have an assistant manager, so I was basically an assistant manager, which meant interviews, hiring people, letting people go, training, merchandising, like setting up the walls in the store, and things like that. I started there as part-time, then I was part-time key, then I was full-time key, then I was basically assistant manager. So I did my job, okay? I was good at my job. That's my forehead. Anyway, so I remember we have a district manager. She would come to our store once a month to make sure everything is going okay. She would review areas of opportunity with us, tell us where we're doing well, tell us how we're doing compared to the other stores in our district. I think our district manager oversaw like maybe 6 stores. She would come in and she would do her regular visits. And I remember one visit she came and she said she wanted the store to literally be turned upside down, cleaned, redone, because a new manager from Vancouver was coming. Like, as much as I was like an assistant manager and I was working full-time hours, I knew it wasn't my forever job because I was in university trying to get my degree to do my forever job. So I'm just like, you want me to stay late and stay late and come in early to do the store for what? If you ever been into a Blue Notes, it doesn't stay neat. It's like Old Navy. It doesn't stay neat. So I don't know what the point is of staying late to set it up and then coming in early to make sure things are done, unless the guy from Vancouver is coming to the store when we open at 10 a.m. It's gonna be a hot mess anyway. I didn't know what to expect. Like, no one told me what this person looked like. All we knew was the name. I couldn't even remember the name, to be honest. So for all intents and purposes, let's call him Brad, because he looked like a Brad. So everyone was all excited and nervous and trying to prepare, because although he was just a store manager, his store was like a higher level store, a store that made more money. And like, above all of that, you want to make a good impression, right? Like, it's like someone, if you're inviting someone to your house, you want them to have a good impression. You want them to think like your house is together. I think I worked at closing shift that day, which would mean like 12:30 to 9:30. So when I got in, the day that he was doing his visit, I walk in and I see everyone kind of congregating, and I see this strange man that I don't know. He was white. So when I came into work and I realized that there's a new person there, I figured this must be the person. This must be Brad that everyone's been talking about for the last like 2 weeks. And I come in and I get, my district manager, let's call her Tracy. Tracy goes, "Oh, Shanice, this is Brad." Brad looks at me and he goes, "Yo, what's up?" And puts his finger up to dap me. And I was like, okay. Mind you, I've never met Brad before, ever in life. And I wasn't the only person that started work at that time, but I was the only person he said pound it. Like, I was the only person he said, "Yo, what's up" to. So anyway, I didn't say anything. I thought maybe that's how Brad is. I don't know what people are like in Vancouver. I ain't never been there. So I decided I was just gonna work. I started working, I'm doing my thing. And all throughout the day, he was saying little snarky remarks, and it was a lot of like thug type talk he was saying to me, just slang, like stuff that he would say to me. And then he was done his day at about 5, I want to say. And so when he was leaving, he was like, "All right, yo, nice working with you," like something like, he said something like that, like, "Yo, it was good working with you, like you done know," or something like that. And I was like, I don't even think I raised my hand to do. I think I probably shook his hand. I don't really remember responding to him. I just remember being very confused. Let me tell you something. I am a university educated woman. I have an honors bachelor's degree. So I don't know what would warrant him speaking to me like that, especially since we never met each other. If he had known me and he knows how I talk, because I talk kind of with a little slang, but that's not in a professional environment. So if he never met me before, there's no way he should be coming to me like that. With everybody else, he was like, hey, so can you put that over there for me? It was great meeting you today. But when he comes to me, he goes, yo, what's up? Like, have a good one. You done know. And I'm like, so I remember just being very like bothered. Like my spirit man was upset. I finished my work day that day, whatever. The next day, my district manager, Tracy, she comes in and she wants to ask me what did I think of him and what I think of the visit and all these things. And I said, like, I feel like the visit went fine. The store looked great. But I said, how he talked to me was like, it was funky. And then she asked what I meant. I said, you didn't see when I came in here, he just shook everybody else's hand. And when it came to me, he, wanted to pound me. She's like, what? I said, yeah. And throughout the day, he was like using a lot of little snarky remarks. And even when he was leaving, he was like, all right, yo, you done know. And tried to like daps me on his way out. And I didn't see him talk to you like that. And I didn't see him talk to anybody else like that. So it was offensive to me. She's like, Shanice, like, why didn't you tell me this yesterday? And I was like, honestly, I thought you saw, for one. For two, I didn't know if I was just being super sensitive and making a big deal out of it. So I didn't bother. She's like, no, Shanice, that's actually very serious. She's like, I know you and I know you don't talk like that. And even if you did, if I was just meeting somebody, like what in the first 2 seconds of meeting somebody would make me think that's an appropriate way to talk to them? She's like, he was definitely being offensive, definitely being a little prejudiced, and it's like borderline racist. And I was like, well, girl, what we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Mind you, I did my honors bachelor's degree in HR, so I know how these race relations things are supposed to be handled. But again, I was working at Blue Notes. If you've ever worked for Blue Notes or any of the YM companies, you know it's not always a pleasant experience. So I didn't really have much expectations, to be honest. And her typing away on her computer, and that was it. I said, Tracy gonna do what Tracy gonna do. Let's say a week has gone by now, right? And being management, you have access to emails. So emails would be about sales that are going on in the day, how your store did last night, things that are coming up, like a picture of how they want the store to look, how they want you to set it up with new product that's coming in, things like that. And so I log in a week later and I see an email from Tracy, and Tracy, it was very eloquently worded, and Tracy was like, Shanice, I'm so sorry about the unfortunate experience you had with Brad from Vancouver. So we really had intentions of it being a great experience. However, the way he talked about you, the way he talked to you, we have zero tolerance for it. It was very disrespectful and very offensive, and we just wanted to let you know that he's been formally let go. Girl, y'all let him go? Like, I was shocked, but I was surprised, y'all. I was like, that is like, I was happy. It's offensive for you to come to me and say yo when I don't even talk like that. Like, to me it seems almost like, I'm not gonna say people that say yo are like uneducated, but it's a professional environment. Even though it's just retail work, it's still my job. So you're gonna come to me and say yo and you don't know me and you didn't say no to anybody else. That right there shows that there was like a racial undertone, because you only said it to the black girl. You pale white guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, and you see the black girl, you say yo, and you don't shake her hand, you give her daps. Like, if I don't come to you and say yo, don't come to me and say yo. That's the story about how I got a racist manager fired at Blue Notes. This is one good story. This is one good story where I felt like they actually stood up for me and they took me seriously. And I feel like it's a good victory to share for Black History Month. It was just my story, and who knows who else he spoke to in that manner. And I bet you something, I bet you he ain't never gonna do it again. I bet you that much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope I'll see you in my next video.